So hey guys, today we're talking about another legacy card. So today we are talking about card scanner. Once per turn, you can declare one card type, monster, spell, or trap. Both players reveal the bottom cards of their decks, and if it was the declared card type, they add it to their hand, otherwise they place it on top of their deck. If this face-up card and its owner's spell and trap zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can make your opponent place one card from their hand on the bottom of the deck. So this card is surprisingly very good for a legacy card, which I am personally shocked at. But the general usage we might have for this card is that because it is soft once per turn, if we open multiple, it's fine. And we, in general, will want to declare correctly with card scanner. So we're going to declare a card type, and both players will reveal the bottom cards of their deck. So if we declare monster, and our opponent reveals a monster, they would get to add it to their hand. If it shows like a spell or trap, it would go to the top of their deck instead, right? So that effect by itself gives us knowledge, so we get to see the card on the bottom of our opponent's deck. So let's say we see a Welcome Labyrinth, then we know without doubt Labyrinth. And we also know our opponent's top deck, which is fairly valuable even if it whiffs. Well, I mean, it would be better if it whiffs in that case. But if it doesn't whiff, our opponent would get to add a card to their hand, and we get to know what the card is, so it's not that great, not that bad. So what we really don't want to do is whiff on ourselves. If we do, we just go -1. If we resolve card scanner, it doesn't really cost us any cards, if that makes sense. Like, if we just disregard our opponent existing, if we activate card scanner and then we get to add a card from our deck to the hand, we get to keep the card scanner, and we also get to I guess grab card, you know? And card scanner has this effect, which is useful against like just in general backrow removal. So if you just drop a duster, this is going to feel pretty bad, because for every single copy of card scanner that you would have destroyed with a duster, you would have to place a card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. So that is pretty painful, and I believe you will not be shuffling here either. So that's interesting. I'm not sure if that has any like applications or anything like that. But yeah, our opponent will have to place a card. So at worst, like if you were to duster into card scanner, like 3 copies, you would have to put back three cards to your hand. Like Silva would be put back too, but Silva is like more conditional and not really generic at all to do. Card scanner, however, is pretty I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Pretty generically playable in comparison to something like a Silva. And against like a Tenpai, this makes it a little bit harder for them to actually just clear your back row for free. So specifically though, one good usage I can think of with card scanner is if I'm playing like a paleo or something, then I could card scanner, and the only issue with card scanner is if I could get it out of my like main monster zones. If I just control 1, it's not going to be that bad because I can just activate this every single turn. So best case scenario, so turn 1, I might activate like 3 copies or 2 copies of card scanner, grab some traps or monsters or whatever, and then next turn I can do the same thing over and over again, right? And this will potentially be able to keep stacking our opponent's deck as well, and we can kind of get information on that. If we have another card that accompanies this, like a Kishira Ogre, that could be excessively disgusting, in which we could remove like certain cards that we stacked on our opponent's deck, just kind of removing those cards. That would be kind of disgusting. If we had Ogre specifically, it wouldn't help with this because we're checking the bottom cards for this effect here, which is kind of neat, but if a card gets placed on the top of their deck, then I guess we'll know the top card of the deck, and we'll be able to like potentially banish it with something like a Kashtira Ogre or Kashtira Riseheart. And that I think is kind of neat. I don't know if you should go all in and play this at 3, but like if we're playing a controlled deck, I don't see card scanner being that bad, considering if we declare trap, for example. I think that's probably the type of card that would be most beneficial, because most decks will have a high ratio of uh, monsters and spells, especially combo decks, will have a lot less traps. And I don't think even if they add a trap to their hand that it'll be that impactful to you necessarily. Like our opponent might add, for example, if we're playing against Yubel, there's only for the most part, I think 4 cards that they might be able to add. So 3 of those cards being just imperm, and then there is the 1 copy of the Unchained Backrow. I don't remember the name of this one. I think it was Unchained Escape, or Escape of the Unchained. I think that was the Backrow pop one. I mean, that really doesn't matter if our opponent adds that to the hand. It's not like they can discard it or anything. They'll just set it. They were going to search it anyways. Makes no real difference if card scanner actually hits for them if we declare trap, unless like the imperm matters. But that's like 3 copies of imperm, and they might have opened 1 already anyways. So not really that big of a deal if our opponent maybe gets like an imperm or something, because trap deck. You're going to negate a monster against a trap deck? Question mark. I don't know. So yeah, card scanner. Somehow, some way, that this is a potentially usable. Well, it's not like super generic, but it's at least a somewhat usable card in the legacy pack. Like, mind blowing. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll wait. What's a scanner? Once return, you can select one of your opponent's monsters that is removed from play. Until then phase, this card's name is treated as the selected monster's name, and this card has the same attribute level attack as the selected monster. This card is removed from the field while the effect is applied. Remove it from play. Wow, this card is old. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.